She is the only monarch most of us have ever known, and she's been head of state to 16 Australian prime ministers, including 6 who were born after she came to the throne. Watch live updates and historic coverage on 7 News and 7+. But more than anything, the death of Queen Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor ends an era when the monarchy was an emblem not just for duty and service, but a particular brand of majesty and mystique. Catch all of your favorite shows on Channel 7 or stream free on 7+. If Princess Diana's death in 1997 triggered an unprecedented outpouring of global grief, the Queen's passing more than quarter of a century later may be less shocking, but the implications are monumental and far-reaching. If her 70-year reign was the backdrop to the most extraordinary technological and social advancement we have ever known, it was also characterized by a dignity and inscrutability we will likely never know again. Above all things, our royalty is to be reverenced, and if you poke about it, you cannot reverence it, English essayist Walter Bagehot wrote in 1867. Its mystery is its life. We must not let in daylight upon magic. The Queen fought valiantly to preserve that magic. Through abdication, divorces, affairs, a sex abuse settlement, the severing of the Sussexes and the loss of her beloved husband Prince Philip, the Queen endured. Her actions were louder than her words, and whatever else was happening in the world, her steadfastness and constancy made us believe that goodness would prevail. She was a touchstone for persistence, for responsibility, for kindness, and for the immutability of old-school values, however much society shifted and evolved. Each day is a new beginning, she said in her 2002 Christmas broadcast. I know that the only way to live my life is to do what is right, to take the long view, to give of my best in all that the day brings, and to put my trust in God. Beloved and ubiquitous, the Queen's death is as much a symbol of our own mortality and humanity as it is hers. Personally, we will be rearranged in our accepted and familiar world as we mourn a figure quietly mightier than virtually anyone of the last century. And while Britain will carve a new identity with Charles as its king, when the funeral is over and the mourning passes, there will be a rush of republicanism. Nations too polite to jettison the Queen when she was alive will seek independence, and the empire, along with her familiar face on stamps and money, will become part of history. So what happens now? The second the Queen died, Charles became king, but for now the farewell to our monarch will be extraordinary. We can expect 24-hour news coverage, ceaseless commentary, and 10 days of sorrow and spectacle as plans which have been in place for decades unfold. Nothing is unforeseen. The British Prime Minister and the heads of other governments where the Queen is head of state were notified of the Queen's death shortly after she passed. The news flash announcing her death went out to the world's media at the same time as a footman in mourning clothes pinned a notice to the gates of Buckingham Palace. The palace's website has been changed to a dark background. Operation London Bridge was triggered the second the Queen died, and in the days that follow, plans will unfold according to a schedule marked D-Day, D+1, D+2, up until the funeral on D+9. The Queen's body will be taken to the throne room at Buckingham Palace, where 4 Grenadier Guards in their bearskin hats will stand watch. Flags throughout the world have already been lowered to half-mast. On September 9 at 11 a.m. British time, Charles will officially be proclaimed king. After he has spoken, trumpeters from the Life Guards will give 3 blasts, and the band of the Coldstream Guards will play the national anthem on drums wrapped in black cloth. A 41-gun salute, taking almost 7 minutes, will be fired from Hyde Park. In the coming days, Charles will tour Scotland, Ireland, and Wales to attend services of remembrance. Doubtless he will quickly invoke his mother's well-known catchphrase, "I need to be seen to be believed." The Queen's 10 pallbearers will be chosen and will start practicing out of sight. 5 days after her death, the Queen's lead-line coffin, Diana's weighted 1/4 of a ton, will move from Buckingham Palace in a procession to Westminster Hall, where she will lie in state for another 4 days. The orb, the scepter, and the imperial crown will be placed on the coffin, and wreaths will be renewed every day. 500,000 people are expected to file past showing respect to the Queen. When George VI died, 305,000 visited, and the queues were 4 miles long. On D+9, the day of the funeral, Britain, including the stock market, will largely be closed. Queen Elizabeth will be the first monarch to have her funeral at Westminster Abbey since 1760. At 11 a.m. when the coffin reaches the doors, the country will fall silent. During the service, just as at Princess Diana's funeral, broadcasters will cover events but will refrain from showing the faces of the royal family. After the service, the coffin will be placed on the green gun carriage which has transported several monarchs. It will proceed down the Mall and travel to Windsor Castle, where the Queen will be laid to rest in the royal vault in King George VI Memorial Chapel. And finally, thank you all for watching the video. Please like and comment your opinion so we can discuss together. Don't forget to subscribe, press the bell to follow and update many other interesting news. See you in the next videos. Goodbye.